I've been following global politics for years, but this shift caught even me by surprise. It's 2025 and the European Union is facing some serious challenges. Economic struggles, political gridlock, you name it. And where are they turning for answers? To a country that's been defying expectations and rewriting its own story, India. Now, you might be wondering, how did we get here? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into a tale of two continents that's full of surprises. Okay, so let's take a step back and look at the big picture. Europe, once the poster child for economic stability and political unity, is now struggling. Germany, the powerhouse of the EU, is facing some serious challenges to its business model. We've got protests in Slovakia over energy policies, political crackdowns in Turkey, and a whole lot of uncertainty about the future. And then there's India, a country that's been on a roller coaster ride of its own. And strongly, it's come out on top. The South Asian economy is booming, it's politically vibrant, and it's got the EU's attention. In February 2025, EU commissioners made a trip to India. Now, this wasn't just a courtesy call. They were there to learn, to understand how India's managing to thrive in a world that's becoming increasingly complex. It's like the student becoming the teacher, Now, this is where things get really interesting. The EU and India couldn't be more different economically. The EU's been dealing with slow growth, aging populations, and industries that are struggling to keep up with rapid technological change. Take France's investment in AI, for example. They're pouring resources into developing Le Chat, this catbot thing. But while they're doing that, India's already leapfrogged ahead in areas like digital payments and e-governance. It's like, while Europe's still trying to figure out the rules of the game, India's already scored a few goals. But it's not just about the economy. The political landscapes in Europe and India are worlds apart. The EU's dealing with rising populism, Brexit, aftershocks, and a kind of political paralysis that's making it hard to get anything done. India, though, it's got its own challenges, sure, but there's this vibrancy to its democracy that's catching the EU's eye. Despite all the diversity and competing interests, India's is strongly managing to push forward with reforms and big initiatives. It's not perfect, but there's a dynamism there that Europe's desperate to understand and maybe even replicate. It's like India's found a way to turn its chaos into a strength, while Europe's order is becoming a weakness. So what does all this mean for the future? Well, that EU commissioners' visit to India in February 2025 wasn't just a one-off thing. It's the start of what could be a pretty significant shift in how these two powers relate to each other. The EU's looking to India not just as a market or a strategic partner, but as a source of ideas and inspiration. It's like they're finally realizing that maybe, just maybe, they don't have all the answers. But you know what? It's not about Europe becoming India or vice versa. It's about learning from each other's experiences. The EU's interested in India's digital innovation, its approach to managing a diverse population, and its ability to maintain democratic processes in challenging times. As we wrap up, I can't help but marvel at how the world keeps surprising us. Who would have thought that in 2025 we'd be talking about India as a role model for Europe? But that's the reality we're living in. It's a reminder that in our interconnected world, inspiration can come from unexpected places. And maybe, just maybe, this unlikely pairing of the EU and India might help both of them navigate the challenges of our rapidly changing world. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be fascinating to watch. So keep your eyes on this space, because the next few years could redefine global relationships in ways we never imagined.